Imagine stepping into the grand entrance of one of the most elite hotels in the city, expecting to be welcomed with the reverence befitting a self-made billionaire. You've built your empire from nothing, overcoming every obstacle imaginable, only to find yourself stopped at the door, not because of an oversight, not because of a mistake, but because of the color of your skin. This was the harsh reality Vanessa Michaels faced. But instead of allowing humiliation to swallow her whole, she chose a different path, one that no one saw coming. She would return, but not as a guest. She would come back as the owner. Before we unfold this extraordinary story, let us know in the comments where you're watching from, and don't forget to subscribe. The morning unfolded like any other, the golden sunrise casting a soft glow over the streets of Baltimore. Vanessa Michaels emerged from the sleek confines of her black sedan, the rhythm of her heels clicking against the pavement as she adjusted the cuff of her tailored navy blue suit, a symbol of the precision and sharp intellect that had built her empire. At just 35, Vanessa had transformed Michaels Holdings into a powerhouse in real estate, a name whispered in boardrooms and feared by competitors. Her path to success had been anything but easy. She had clawed her way through doors that others had tried to keep shut, breaking barriers that were never meant to be broken. Today was meant to be a celebration of that triumph. She had booked a stay at the legendary Avalon Hotel, one of the city's most exclusive establishments, a place where only the elite dined, relaxed, and existed in effortless luxury. Yet as she stepped onto the pristine marble sidewalk before its grand entrance, a familiar unease coiled in her chest. She cast a glance at her assistant, Bethany, who trailed behind her with their luggage, always one step behind yet ever steadfast. "You did confirm the reservation, right?" Vanessa's voice was calm, but there was an unmistakable edge to it, a premonition she didn't want to acknowledge. Bethany, her most trusted aide for over a decade, met her gaze with a reassuring nod. "Triple checked. You're their VIP guest for the entire week. Everything's perfect." Vanessa allowed herself a small smile, but deep down she knew. Perfection was a privilege not always extended to people who looked like her. It was a burden she had carried her whole life, an unspoken reminder that no amount of success could entirely shield her from being judged first by her skin, then by her worth. The moment she stepped into the opulent lobby, she felt it, the shift in the air, the fleeting glances, the subtle but undeniable weight of being an outsider in a place she had every right to be. The chandeliers dripped in golden light. The high ceilings echoed with the hushed voices of the elite. And yet, the warmth never reached her. They approached the front desk, and the young receptionist, polished, poised, and utterly unreadable, greeted them with a hollow smile. "Good afternoon. How may I assist you?" Bethany stepped forward, unwavering. "We have a reservation under Vanessa Michaels." There it was, the flicker of hesitation in the receptionist's eyes, the brief moment where discomfort flashed across her face before she forced herself into polite indifference. She began typing, her fingers moving slower than necessary, as if buying time, searching for a way to deny what was undeniable. The pause stretched too long before she finally spoke. "I'm sorry, but I don't see a reservation under that name." A cold, familiar weight settled in Vanessa's stomach. It wasn't new. She had encountered this before, in restaurants where her money was suddenly not enough, in boardrooms where her expertise was quietly questioned, in spaces where she had every right to stand yet was made to feel she didn't belong. Bethany, ever the professional but seething beneath her exterior, leaned in. "We confirmed this weeks ago. Can you check again?" The receptionist hesitated. A breath, a beat. And then she reached for the phone. Moments later, a man in a pristine gray suit materialized, his expression neutral, but his intent crystal clear. I'm Robert Stevens, the manager. I understand there's an issue with your reservation. Vanessa met his gaze, already knowing where this was headed. She had played this game before. There seems to have been a misunderstanding, Robert continued, his tone polite to the point of insincerity. Our suites are fully booked. Unfortunately, we won't be able to accommodate you. Bethany stiffened beside her, ready for war, but Vanessa placed a firm hand on her arm. They were waiting for a reaction, anger, outrage, a scene they could twist into justification. She wouldn't give them that satisfaction. Vanessa inhaled slowly, the steel in her spine unbending. I see, she said, her voice smooth, deliberate. Thank you for your time, Mr. Stevens. Without another word, she turned and walked away. Her head high, her steps measured. Bethany followed, fury radiating from her in waves. This is absurd. We should call the press, file a lawsuit. They can't get away with this. Vanessa paused outside, letting the cool air steady her. Bethany, I've been fighting this battle my whole life. This isn't the first time I've been shut out because of my skin color, and it won't be the last. But I won't fight them on their terms. Bethany deflated slightly, her frustration giving way to something else. So what now? A slow, knowing smile curved Vanessa's lips. Now? We regroup, find another hotel for the night, and then I make my next move. Later that evening, seated in a quiet corner of a luxury hotel suite, Vanessa's mind was already working ahead. She had never been one to dwell on losses, only how to turn them into victories. She opened her laptop, fingers flying across the keys as she pulled up financial records, business reports, industry analyses. The Avalon wasn't as untouchable as it seemed. Behind the facade of luxury, it was struggling. Financial losses, mismanagement, and ownership desperate to keep things afloat. It was a house of cards just waiting for the right wind to blow it down. Vanessa picked up her phone, her decision already made. When she spoke, her voice was cool, controlled, unwavering. Let's make an offer. The deal was unstoppable. Everything moved swiftly, and with Vanessa's sharp expertise in acquisitions, the process unfolded seamlessly. In just a matter of weeks, she had discreetly secured ownership of the Avalon Hotel. No one knew, not the staff, not the guests, not even the manager who had once dismissed her so easily. The very people who had turned her away had no idea that, behind closed doors, she had signed the final contract. Yet as she placed her signature on the last page, she felt no desire for revenge. This was not about proving a point to those who had once looked down on her. It was about something much larger than that. She wanted to send a message of transformation, of justice. And this change would not stop with the Avalon. It would ripple through the entire industry. A few days later, Vanessa walked through the grand entrance of the hotel once again. But this time, she was not a guest, nor was she someone to be turned away. She was the owner. At the front desk, the same receptionist from before caught sight of her. Recognition dawned in her eyes, followed by shock. Her fingers twitched nervously over the keyboard, fumbling for the right words. Vanessa, poised and unshaken, met her gaze. I'm not here for a reservation today, she said, her voice smooth, unwavering. I'm here as the new owner. The young woman paled, but Vanessa didn't linger to watch her reaction. There was too much work to do. Over the next few weeks, she set her vision into motion. She called meetings with the management team, including Robert, the very manager who had once dismissed her. As they sat before her, she made her stance clear. There will be changes, Vanessa stated, her tone calm but commanding. The Avalon will no longer be a place that judges people by their appearance or background. From now on, we will welcome all guests, no exceptions. Robert shifted in his seat, his discomfort evident. He hesitated, searching for a way to justify the hotel's long-standing exclusivity. But Vanessa had no patience for excuses. Exclusivity is not the same as discrimination, Robert, she said, cutting through his words. If you can't see that, then perhaps this isn't the right place for you. With that, a new chapter for the Avalon began. Vanessa brought in diversity and inclusion specialists to retrain the staff. She made it a priority to hire a more diverse team, ensuring that every guest who walked through those doors was met with dignity and respect. Word spread quickly. Some of the hotel's longtime patrons were skeptical, hesitant about the shift in culture. But it didn't matter. New guests arrived, people who had never before felt welcomed in such spaces. The Avalon's reputation transformed overnight. A place that had once symbolized exclusion now stood as a beacon of progress. One evening, as Vanessa stood by her office window, gazing out over the shimmering skyline, Bethany entered, holding up a newspaper. "You need to see this," she said, excitement lighting up her face. Vanessa took the paper and let a smile spread across her lips. The headline read, "Billionaire Vanessa Michaels turns Avalon Hotel into a symbol of inclusion." Bethany grinned. "You did it!" Vanessa looked at her, warmth filling her chest. "We did it," she corrected. But deep inside, she knew this victory was only the beginning. This wasn't just about a single hotel. She had bigger plans. Plans that would ensure no one, anywhere, was ever denied respect simply because of how they looked. As she turned her eyes back to the city, one thought settled firmly in her heart. Justice doesn't always come swiftly, but when it does, it is undeniable. Vanessa had built her empire on resilience, on grit, on sheer determination. And now she was using that strength to build something even greater, a legacy that would outlast her, a future where everyone had a place at the table. This is only the beginning. Let us know in the comments what stood out to you in this story, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. See you soon.